guys, welcome back to the I Did It First podcast. This is a solo episode. My name is Riley. Just kidding. My name is no, I'm not kidding. My name is Riley. Say
I'm
your
Anna.
name, and we're here with our
Sorry, I thought you were still,
we're here with our producer Kenny.
Hey, what's up?
And I don't know what is wrong with my brain. Pause. I know there's a lot.
There's a
but
lot. You've been on one today.
I know, but luckily I think that, and I just want to make sure I'm talking to the mic like I always do, but
Like I always do.
when I'm on, I don't want to say when I'm on one because then I think of the Drake song. You know that Drake song?
Go.
Where he's like,
Just
"Fucking
go.
I'm on one." When I'm on one, you're also on one.
Yes, it's like contagious.
Oh, and I just hit my nose. Package gate. Dude.
The fact that we ever thought we had to drink is crazy.
Crazy. Ow. Fuck.
Really?
Yeah. You don't care. I don't even want to
Call back to talking about how dumb people can be. How did you just hit yourself in the face?
I know, because my nose is so tiny and so small. I forgot what I was going to say. Feel free.
Feel free. So we're just going to get right into it. Today we talk about shit we should not normalize and that is normalized, right?
Mm-hmm. Right. That was like a question. That's
Right.
not like a right. Yeah, I know.
She said, shit, we should.
Maybe got that.
No, don't get that. I love whenever you say something bad, you'll like pause for dramatic effect and then you'll just emphasize whatever. I can't think of an example again because it happens all the time.
I'm
You
just
guys
waiting
take
for
my
you.
word for it. We're talking about stuff that people normalize.
Echo, echo, echo.
Can you hear that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm the one wearing headphones.
Okay, like what? Go.
Okay. For example, I think the number one thing is like in order to be productive, like people confuse productivity with being busy.
And like
Like-
silly busy.
like-
Like piling things on their plate, like the glorifying.
And I know so many people, I mean, I even do it sometimes. It's like I'll just
I will
act
do it
like-
when I don't maybe want to do something
Maybe
else.
that's
And
what
I
it
need
is.
to communicate the idea that I'm too busy to do, like if someone wants me to possibly engage in something I'm not interested in.
yes.
That's when I turn on the I'm too busy. Not to
Uh-huh.
say that I'm not busy, but suddenly that schedule will be overly impacted in an instant.
Yes.
But I know people that do that as a habit.
And they're like, I think they honestly love it. Like they love they romanticize the struggle.
Yes,
When
that's
they're
what
like,
it is.
Oh my gosh, I have to.
Or when you ask them, like, how are things going?
And it's always like I have
Being
this
able
and
to
I have
tell
that
you,
and I
yeah.
have this, and they act like they're so stressed, but nothing ever changes.
Yeah. That one's a little frustrating just because you know that. I mean, one thing I learned to do a lot, I'd say maybe in the last year or two, is just to say to say no to things, to not get caught up in that glorifying being busy. Like, no, I just can't, because why? Because I'm not going to be able to do that well. I don't need to. That's the authentic me. Like, that's what I mean. Like, I will turn it on when I don't want to get involved in something
And
else.
I need to learn to say no.
Yeah,
to
you
stuff.
do.
I'm like, that is one thing people will present opportunities to me and I never say no. And then my schedule, and then I get so overwhelmed with everything.
Yeah, but you're not the person that likes to hype up that overwhelmed part. Like you said, it's like glorifying that struggle. You don't love to like put it out there.
No.
Like, I'm so busy. I have so much going on. Like, I'll hear that and I'm like, okay, you could literally stop
Like,
doing
womp
5 of those
womp.
things.
Yeah, literally. But I need to say no because no is a full sentence. Circle back to tips for your 20s. I just say yes to everything. I'm like, yes, man. What was that movie with Jim Carrey?
Liar, liar.
No.
It was called Yes Man.
It was?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think
No, there
I
was
saw
one
that.
called Yes
You
Man.
did. You did. I would not have just seen that by myself as like a 5-year-old.
Probably. I
Or
don't
he
remember.
was like really mean and then he wakes up one day and then says yes to everything.
Well, that's the whole movie. So
So you have seen it.
I don't know. I
She's
don't
a
remember.
liar. like right now I feel overwhelmed with everything, and especially I think it's because I just started school again.
And you forget
For
how much
fall.
time that takes. But I don't think that's your personality. I'll be nice for right now. And I don't I don't think that's your personality to want to be that
I do
busy.
not.
No,
I do
as a
not,
struggle
because
because
you
you like
can't-
to nap.
I love to nap, and you can't do a bunch of things well if your foot is in, or your hand, whatever that fucking saying is. If your hand is in like a bunch of different pods, you're not doing I don't know. You're not doing everything well.
Yes,
So it's
actually,
all like an okay job.
When I used to work at Tommy Bahamas, that someone used to say that, and like a cheesecake, it was all about multitasking. And then like the head of Tommy Bahamas was very adamant about saying he was dead against multitasking. He said, you multitask, you can't do any one task very well. And I was like,
That is so true. Like you can get it done.
I loved
sure.
him saying that because it was, you know, I just come from somewhere where it's like, can I do 12 things at once? It's like, why do I have to do, can't I just do them like in some kind of order and get them all done still?
And I saw this thing because my boyfriend is guilty of this. Like, another thing that people do to act like things are. Stop laughing.
I'm looking at Kenny's face.
To act like things are so deep where, oh, like, for example, we'll just be at the grocery store and he's like putting that bitch in sport, like walking so fast. And I'm like, not everything is an emergency. Like, just because you're acting like this this isn't any more important than anything else we're doing. You know, like for
grocery
the day.
shopping?
Like, that's just an example because everything's like, go, go, go. And it has to be
Oh.
like, and I'm like, bro, you make situations stressful. These aren't even stressful
Yeah.
things. And I feel like you have friends too that I see do that, where it's like, oh my God. And it's the same people that are like complaining about doing simple stuff. But I'm like, well, maybe if you just didn't act like,
Don't put the energy into it. Or like it.
put energy into it, but not like that. It's not
Like the
that
worst day
deep.
ever kind of energy. And you're
Yeah.
like, was it really the worst day ever? Or did you just wait in line like an extra 10 extra minutes?
Well, that is something I always I'm like, this isn't an emergency.
Yeah.
Like, you do not need to be walking like this. You don't need to be like swiping shit off the shelves. And I am referring to the grocery store because that is just something that happened recently where
Yeah.
I'm like, take a beat. Like, we accounted for this for a day, like this chunk of time. Like, it's okay.
But I think that just comes down to, it's like almost taking it slow. Like there's something perceived as lazy
Yes.
or
Well,
inefficient
there's,
or
to some degree, that is true.
right.
Like, walk with a purpose, yes, but also if you have nowhere to go, like, it's fine. I think one thing that people do a lot is and I'm also guilty of this, you complain about, and I'm not saying you, but people, myself included, complain about being tired.
Yeah.
Like, I woke up this morning, I mean, we both did, we worked out at 5 a.m. I am lost. I'm lost in what is funny.
Because you said we woke up. I woke up this morning. Well, we both did. Like, well, no shit. We all woke up this
We're all-
morning.
yeah, we all
So
did,
it's
you
just
guys.
like,
Well, I wasn't done. We woke up to work out at 5 a.m. And then our day has just gone on as it has. And I'm exhausted. And I feel like that's just what I keep saying. And there's nothing good about that. It's not like, oh, I'm any better because
No.
I'm tired. And I work. Because if I'm tired, but I woke up at 5 a.m. to work out, like, how productive is waking up early to work out if I'm
Useless the
exhausted
rest of the day.
day?
I know, but that I've just acknowledged, like, this is where I acknowledge all the people who do this well,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm in awe of how do they just go through their day. Like, a lot of people that do this, they'll get up, they'll do that 5 a.m. workout, go to work, and I'm
Yeah.
am I the only one? I start to believe something is very wrong with me because I'm very tired.
I'm very tired.
I'm like, okay, I need a doctor. I mean, granted, you know, I'm sure there's something that's wrong, but
There was something that you were talking about on the way over in the car about women and why? What did you think I was gonna
no,
say?
I think we decided to lay off of that conversation. Oh, it was about women doing everything. And we're like, wow, that's going to take off. Like, as
And not
like-
from like a
No, no,
super
no.
feminist point of view.
not at all. It's actually the
Why did I
opposite.
do
Like,
a superhero pose?
like the billboard with the, no, it was actually something that I think, I don't want to say traumatized me, but even when you guys were young, it was very much a mindset to like be able to work full time, raise your kids. And obviously so many women do it and they do it well. And I personally, trying to do everything was very hard for me.
Yeah.
And then, but there's a lot of shame in admitting that. And it's like, that's one thing we do normalize is like, I think a lot of moms doing it all. And that's, I want to change that.
That's
I'm
horrible.
like, personally, I'm like,
yeah.
because you said something when you were at UCSD and that whole structure of a family.
Oh, like the American dream. Yeah. So the American dream was based on the idea of the man working and the woman staying home to like tend for the house, tend for her family, and make sure dinner's
Because
ready.
it was a full-time
Because that's
job.
a full-time job, yes. But now it's like, okay,
So it could still be the man that goes to stay home with the family, but based on one parent at home.
yeah, like so it has to be
One
someone.
parent.
Oh, because I went. It's because you go, it's a full time job, and I went like this. I was just messing around, but then you were like, "What?"
Oh, I thought I like was not being.
No. I just went like it's like. Of course, it's.
Is
Yeah.
It is a full. It
You're
is. I get it's a
fucking
full time job, but I
But
was
like
like,
a
eh,
parent is based on the parent being at home
Yes.
and one parent
being a provider.
being the breadwinner. Yeah.
Yeah.
And at some point, obviously.
I want to
Oh.
talk to the woman that fought for our rights to work because I have a couple words for her. I don't know who we is. I don't want to work.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
I feel like dream job is a contradictory statement. Personally.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't dream of like labor.
yeah, but I think it's just like the part of the country we live in, though, too.
Yeah.
Orange County.
Just like I mean, big cities,
Yeah,
like
that's
all the cities. It's like that's where if you venture out, outside of those, then it's like more often that the women don't work.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm sure that's still changed over time. Like it's like way less. Like it used to be way more women not working, but
Yeah. No, I mean, and now it's obviously a necessity and that's a whole different subject.
True.
But it was the idea that I struggled, and that was the normal. Like you have to do this, and and I was like, I literally can't. I don't know how
Without
these women are
losing your
doing it.
mind,
Like
too.
I was, I knew a lot of moms that, and there's no shame, but they were medicated just to manage all of that. And I
Like,
was like,
what
so
kind
wait,
of-
is that the only alternative?
Yeah, but when you hear stories about back then it being the same thing, like isn't that where like
Kenny, this is like 10 years ago.
no,
like
I'm talking about
50s.
isn't it like wasn't like I mean this could totally be wrong, but isn't that like where Valium got big? Didn't women
Oh,
go
yeah.
and take Valium? And it's like what are they're staying at home and taking care of that. Like I'm not just trying to minimize
No,
it,
yeah.
but it's like
No.
they're staying home and taking care of the house, and that's just such a
What's Valium?
Like,
Like
a
a
down,
Xanax
yeah,
type?
it's like a Xanax,
Okay,
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I figured.
so it's like they've always been
Like
doing
that.
that.
Yeah, no, and that's one thing.
To the point where there's just no emotion. They're
yeah,
just
they're
numb.
nothing. I mean, and I have talked to friends about this, and I'm like, and they're like, it's better than what I was feeling before, which was too much. Because like their reaction to happy and sad was always the same, and I was like, oh my gosh, you got a new car? They're like, yeah.
Right. They're just in the
That's
middle.
sad.
It is really sad, but to be able to manage, that's the sad part. I'm like, can we just agree that like maybe we can't do it all,
Well, I saw this thing that said
and that
having,
that's okay?
having one kid is an accessory, two is a lifestyle.
And you are like twins, by the way.
Oh, here we go. That's rude. I feel like I was an easy child.
Oh, thank God this is
Do you think I was not an easy child?
You were fine. You liked to sleep, so that was awesome.
Yeah.
That never
That
failed.
hasn't
Like
changed.
you napped all the way to like kindergarten,
Good. Like
Yeah.
every day.
like every day, and it was never a fight.
Good. I would just
Yeah.
be like,
I mean, mind you, she's still napping before and after school now.
before is sleep. That's bedtime.
That's bedtime. Well, no, she'll
When
go
I
at,
nap
like
before school. It's
she'll
'cause I'm
go at
waking
like
up.
5:30, and she's like, "I'm gonna take a little nap," and I'm like, "That's bedtime." You're like, "No, just a little something before bed."
And my parents will always say, they're like, "Don't. You're not gonna be able to fall asleep."
No problem.
Yeah, 8 o'clock comes around. I'm like, "Good night," and I go to bed.
Definitely. Well, and that's one thing that is same thing that I need to let go of, because I think we look at napping
Yes.
as lazy, and maybe that's like how
That's
I
your
grew
trauma.
up. because I'll see it and I'll be like, get up. And I don't even know. But maybe I also want to hang out with you.
Okay, yeah, that's different. But I'm like, just come nap with me. Like, I don't even care. Like, let's just go lay on the couch and take a nap. Like, anything. In high school, I would, and this is like when I was an athlete, and then like working. I know, that's sad. Working out every day, like in the pool for hours, and I would come home from school and want to take a nap before practice. You would have thought I was like shooting up black tar heroin the way my parents would slam.
Well,
open
you
my
did
door.
have homework.
No. Yeah, I did have homework, yes. But the thing is, I was a procrastinator, but I was a
You would
successful
thrive in your
procrastinator.
procrastination.
Yes. And I always did well in school, and that's why
But that's
that's
not
why
a
my
plan.
habits never changed, because it's like if I was still getting A's, why, if what I was doing was working, why was I going to change all of a sudden? My parents would slam open the door and be like, get up. And I'm like, what? And then my brother would come home to nap when he started high school, and I clocked that very fast. They're like, shh.
Riley's like keeping score.
No, but I'm just like, are you kidding? And then, you know, when you mentioned like a childhood memory that it maybe is.
No, we didn't mention.
No, listen, that isn't like close to perfect. Like, if you just say something that is the truth that happened when you were younger around your parents, suddenly they're like, oh, I guess we're horrible parents. I guess you must hate us. Like, and it's like, no, that, what? Like, that was just, look at her.
I'm just listening.
Why did you just make that face?
What face?
Yeah.
I'm just listening. That's my face.
No, you just made a different face.
Are you feeling bad because you're like, maybe I'm embellishing a touch?
Oh my gosh, that's another thing narcissists do. That's like, I'm telling my truth. I actually don't totally know the definition of a narcissist, if I'm being honest.
What else?
What do you mean, what
Let's
else?
get off this subject and back on topic.
I forgot what I was saying. Because it all
Things
comes
we
full
normalize.
circle. Oh, diet culture, I feel like, is a big one. I think does have to do with where
What do
we
you mean?
live. Like,
It does.
another thing that people will brag about, and I think this is more common in girls, but they'll be like, I haven't eaten anything today. And they're like, I've only had a coffee. And it's like, babe, that's not healthy.
Girl dinner.
Yeah, girl dinner, and it's like 3 Tic Tacs and like a rip off their.
But what do you mean about diet
Puff
culture?
bar?
Get into that.
I feel like that is part of diet culture now, where it's like people try to compete with one another about their lack of eating, and they're like, "Oh, I'm so
That's
skinny.
always.
I'm so skinny," and it's like that's unhealthy.
Of course it is. But it's always. I mean, hello. You're talking about a 90s, like, you know, like it was all about not eating. So
I know.
You're talking to the wrong audience.
I truly am. Anna, like,
we're at a restaurant. I don't know how long ago.
where? Tell me where.
Ava.
So I can. I don't
And I
even know
saw
what you're
this girl in a dress. I say girl. She was definitely my age. So, you know.
like a woman.
Like a woman. But she was, I can admittedly say, she might have been skin and bones. And I remember, because I think,
And this is why it's been so hard growing up my whole life around
No.
my mom.
but like I saw
It's
her, I was like, wow,
because
she looks so good.
She'll see someone like,
Riley turned around in her tracks, and
and not
Riley's
to
like,
say she wasn't.
she was
like,
beautiful.
She was attractive. But my
And
mom's
Riley's like, she
"Ugh,
literally looks not well.
goals." And I'm like, this is the problem. Like, and peace and love and blessings to her. She was probably gray too. Like, something was not functional. Like, I think she was like seriously
You
unwell.
could see the bones in her back.
Yeah, and my mom's like, that's goals. And I'm like, okay, so I'm actually not gonna eat my burger.
I didn't
that
say
just
for
ordered.
you. That's the
Okay,
difference.
but can you help me explain to her if she's
Kenny's not our therapist.
if she's pointing out people who are super super skinny, thin, like you can see their ribs from their chest like straight on, and if she's looking at someone and she's like, oh my gosh, that's everything, like their goals,
But
they look
I
so
always,
good.
I've always said you look so good.
That sounds horrible, doesn't it?
I
She's
mean,
like, no,
I'm-
they are beautiful, but you look good for you. Like,
No.
what does that mean?
You're 5 inches taller than me. You cannot compare.
No, but that's rude. Isn't
No,
that
it's
rude?
not.
Do
'Cause
you
I've
see what
never,
I'm saying?
I've never said, "Oh my gosh, you should look like that." I always say, "That's what I like. Like you're perfect the way you are."
No.
No, that's not true.
I don't know how to explain it. I know that people will understand me.
Well, what else am I supposed to say? Clarify then.
Maybe just don't point out because that if I was younger,
No, because
honestly,
you'll make it. I don't
thank
say it.
God, truly thank God that
I
didn't
don't
have
say until you
worse-
make an issue of it. And then you're like, oh my gosh, no wonder I have issues. And I'll say, no, you're perfect. So I don't even
No.
mention it until you go there. That's the
No,
thing.
body- I
I don't
probably had-
randomly be like, oh, she looks good. Oh, but you do too. I don't just say it like that.
Yeah, things we normalize, but we probably shouldn't. Anna, I have had, and just like every girl, I know every. I mean, this doesn't make me like, oh, poor me.
You know, I'll give you one that we normalize. Every time a girl's in a
Go.
bad mood, this is a new
What do you
normal. It's for guys to be like, you need
Ow,
to eat.
fuck. No, I am going to get on my soapbox on because Dad and my boyfriend have both recently done it to us.
It's the new version of calm down.
First of all, and I also
It's the new version of "Are you on your period?"
literally they're like, "Are you hungry?" Because now you're implying that I'm just acting this way because I'm hangry and I'm suddenly a bitch.
How
No,
often are you actually hungry though?
I'm not. I eat when I'm hungry.
Yeah.
There's never a point where I'm like,
Uh-huh.
oh, I'm not. Don't chime in.
But you've never been angry and then eaten, and then been like,
You know,
"Oh, I was."
fairness,
Obviously-
what if you just said, like, you're talking to your
Yeah, and
person and be like, no, you're just frustrating me because you're an idiot. You can't say that. So you just
yeah,
say
and then
quiet.
suddenly you say that, and then that's rude. I hate how the second person always gets caught like that.
They get called out so hard.
No, I'm not saying food doesn't change my attitude. Like obviously, when I eat, I'm much nicer.
You're like, "They're right, but I don't want to hear it."
And but if you think saying that is in that moment going to make me think you're right, like let me just go grab something. We'll resume. No.
Yeah, but have you
because-
ever had it happen and you're like, "I am hungry," and then you eat and you're like, "Fuck, that was
yeah,
it."
I'll think in my head that
Yeah.
I'm hungry. You think I'm gonna admit that? No.
Right. So
I'm
it's like,
thinking that-
so again,
I
so
will
they're
die on that hill.
so if I mean, it's probably not. They're probably not
No, but
accurate
it's
all the
never
time.
At the
But it's
right
never effective.
time.
That's why I said it's
It's
the
like
new-
we'll be in the heat of a conversation, and it's like I'm just pointing out A, B, and C of like what you did and like why that is not okay with me and every boundary I've set so far or whatever. And then it's like sending a paragraph on iMessage and then them responding back with
okay.
8 Ball, the pool game, the iMessage game pigeon. It's like that equivalent. To where it's
No, I
like,
mean-
okay,
No, like I
so
said-
you actually heard nothing I just said.
That's why it's the equivalent of calm down. Because in the history of forever, anytime like a girl get heated and a guy be like, just calm, like it never works. Okay, why
it's-
didn't I think of that?
But it also depends on what we're talking about, because if we're like, usually for me it would be like general frustration. It's like if my girlfriend came to me and she was like, "You're doing this, you're being like this, you're doing all this stuff," I'm like, "Wait a second. Do you need to eat?" But if she's just like generally upset and
Yeah.
frustrated and like, "Oh, like this is man, and then this happened, and then this
Yeah.
like these things all happened," I'm like, "Have you eaten today?" You know, and
Don't do that, Kenny.
I've done it, and she's been like, "No," and I've been like, "Yeah, like, do you want to go get something to eat? You're gonna feel
okay,
better."
yeah, but the thing is, maybe don't say it. Like,
Maybe just-
casually start
yeah.
making a sandwich while she's talking.
No,
to you, like,
she's
feed
but
it
see
to
the thing
her.
is she's never gotten mad. She's never gotten mad about it. Like, I mean, it hasn't happened a bunch of
what?
times, but also the reverse of that has happened. She's done that to me before. Like,
Yeah,
I'll
guys
just be
don't
mad
care.
about. I'll just be mad about shit, and then she'll be like, "Do you need to eat something? Have you eaten? Do you want to go eat?" And I'll be like, "Yeah, let's go eat," and then we'll eat, and then I'll feel good, and I need
I
it.
never bring up stuff that happened like, well, you did this on Tuesday, and you, like every time I bring stuff up, it's usually like in the moment. I'm like, okay, wait, pause. That wasn't cool,
Yeah,
and that's usually like
like delayed.
yeah. And even if I am hungry, it's like maybe just get me food. If you feel like I'm hungry, and if you feel like,
Like,
maybe a bean and cheese
Don't make
burrito
that a point.
is going to help this situation,
Like, just get
like,
to it.
Sure, let's
Yeah.
try it.
I
I'm
just
not
feel
gonna-
like it must be the wrong times to be
Yes.
the wrong type of upset.
yeah, it
to
is
be
the wrong type of
using-
upset.
Yeah.
Because,
It
like I
is.
said, if you're like, "Why are you like if somebody's like, "Why'd you spend $500 on this when we had agreed not to spend
Yeah,
that?" I'd be
yeah,
like,
yeah,
"Wait a
it's like,
second, you're hungry, aren't you?
hungry.
That's why you're so
yeah, yeah,
mad about this." It's
Yeah.
more when I'm like,
it is.
when I go, there's no way somebody would be this mad just about
Over-
these normal life things.
and that I get.
And then I'm
that I
like,
get.
"You're
That's
like
different.
hungry or something, right?" Like,
Are you like on your period?
Yeah, but it's just like the worst thing ever. But that's like a new normal thing to do. Like I don't think. I mean, you're like everyone says it. Like I hear it with other couples. I'm like, okay, why is this so like a thing now?
The
Let's
period
take that
thing,
off
the
the
period thing, I feel like has flipped now because it used to be where guys were disrespectful
I think
about
enough
it,
of them got punched in
and
the
then I
throat.
think guys became respectful about it, and then women just like. It's still happening, so I don't mean the word use as in such a. I only mean half the negativity that you're thinking when I
Okay.
say that women use it. They'll be like, they'll be super, not but the emotionalness of their
Watching you
period.
tiptoe around this
Yeah,
is fun.
the emotionalness of their period is
Yeah.
on, and then they'll be like super upset, and then start bleeding and be like, oh.
Maybe
I
it
was just on my
that.
period. I was just on my
Yeah,
period. That's and be like, no, you terrorized me for the past day and a half, and you're like, oh, I'm just on my
That's
period.
why
I would love to see a guy get a period.
Me
Just on a
too.
side note.
No, I can't handle it. I wouldn't be able to. I
I
wouldn't
want
want
to do one of those cramp simulators.
Yeah, I do too. That
should
means that
do
we should
it.
get one because I think that the world would be a different place.
It would be
Like I don't think guys would like to be super gross because like it'll just happen all day long and we'll go about our business, have conversations. Like you don't know what
Yeah.
crime scene is going on under.
Well, and there's so much more than
Guys
just
would be
that.
like, oh.
Ew. But circling back to obviously things that we like normalize but shouldn't, it's like unhealthy eating. I think that's why it's so upsetting to girls when guys are like,
Maybe
Are
because
you
it's already an
hungry?
issue.
yeah, because obviously I think so many girls already struggle with like body image and
So like, don't go there.
yes. So now it's like
Are you guys hungry now? Complaining
No.
about this for so long?
You see, Kenny.
I look at the crumble lineup every week.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know
okay.
what that has
so
to do
here's
with it, but
no,
now
but it's kind of a good segue to one thing that I always thought about too is like how we normalize like you'll take care of yourself when you're really sick, but when you're proactive about it, it's people will talk shit. Like whether it's exercise or supplements.
Oh,
Like and that's something
yes.
I've dealt with a lot where it's like I'm just constantly trying to battle my own health because I did have like major health issues. Oh my gosh, it's 10 years ago now.
That's crazy.
And so ever since I kind of worked on that and got into a better place, like I'm always trying so hard, like whether it's with food or exercise or I'm going to try these supplements. And people are like, oh my gosh, you're just so excessive. And I'm like, I'm just trying to not be horribly sick again. And that's one thing that drives me crazy. Hello, are you here?
Yeah, I'm just reading to try and see where you were going with this.
Like that we just only like the extreme health issues. Like suddenly everyone's invested in that. But you trying to prevent it, it's like such a
I don't know why
judgment.
that. Do you realize that like that, and maybe not, but I feel like that bothers so many people. Because I'll even with people that we know, it's like, oh, I can't. I'm sorry, I'm working out tomorrow. They're like up in arms about it.
Yeah.
They're like, well, you can miss one. Like you can, and I'm like,
they're so annoyed. And I'm like, no,
but
this
it's
is my
part
priority.
of my routine. Like,
Yeah, but also they should. I mean, this goes against like this goes not really against, but it goes the same at the same time where you guys are saying like normalization of fatness of like being of like that it's good. Like
yeah,
I don't think there's anything wrong with anybody being fat. I'm fat. Like I don't think there's anything like wrong with it, but I don't.
No.
I think we like just overcorrected way too much.
Yeah,
we went
yeah,
we
I
went from
agree.
like, hey, let's not bully people. I don't think people should be bullied.
No.
I would even say because some people like to make the joke of like, you need fat shaming. Fat shaming works like this
Yeah,
kind.
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think you need to shame someone for being
No.
I
fat,
don't either.
but it should be. It's not good. Like you know what I mean? Like
No,
it
like
shouldn't
the body
be.
positivity went way too far
Yes.
because like and I'm not using like Lizzo's what comes to mind, but like there's a lot of people at that weight that they're significant health issues. Like you're
Yeah, of course.
promoting like
but
heart
she
disease
was another
and-
one that's like, you look beautiful in your body, like you're
Which I
fine.
get,
But
and
even-
meanwhile, she's been on like Ozempic this entire time.
Yeah,
well, and that's it. Like I think everyone
It's
should
a
have the
horrible
access
message.
to
And
resources, but like
and she's like an absurd example. But even if you're dude, if I'm me, like I'm like 35 pounds probably overweight right now. Like that's not good for you. It's like not good for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we like lost that because we were so hard people because before but like you know how like I go like because I'm fat and you guys both go like oh come on like that's how far body positivity has come because before me people like would beat towards like my body
Yeah.
type would be like you fat fuck like you know what I mean like that's what this would have been like you know in
Horrible.
the 80s and
But you're
and
right.
before.
Like, well, we joked about the 90s with that. But I became aware only because like after hip surgery and then after my doctor explained like pounds of pressure and everything. And I was like, yeah, right. And then I did even gain like 10 pounds at one point. I was like, fuck, he wasn't kidding. Like I'm actually in so much pain. But like there's so much associated with it, but you can't tell people that. They're like, ugh, obsessed. You're so obsessed.
Like, oh,
Or people that are like on Zoloft but don't ever work out a fucking day in their life. You know?
Zoloft.
Or no, Zoloft is for depression, isn't
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's
Oh.
people are on Zoloft, like Zoloft. I'm
yeah.
saying like people that are like depressed, and it can't fix everybody. But there's a
yes.
percentage. I don't know if that percentage is 5%
Right.
or more, or if it's much more. But there's a percentage of like, dude, you don't work out, you don't, you eat tons of sugar.
Like there's a
You-
lot
like
of
there's
things
all these things
contributing to
going
being
into it, but it's just
depressed.
like,
yeah.
Yes.
you know what I mean? It's
I
just like
agree.
one. It's like, but also we've normalized depression. There's like you could be
That
sad
too.
for.
We've normalized like having mental health problems. Like it's a good thing.
Yeah.
And like I'm not saying like
But it's
obviously
good to-
everyone has their
Yeah.
own battles.
It's good to
like,
talk about, and it's good to
Like
like.
to bring awareness,
acknowledge,
but
don't give it power to where you're like that's just it. Like,
But we've given it so much that now, I mean, now I would say like but when you look at it, everyone has mental health, but every single person
of
does.
course.
Like there's no what is normal? Like
I
what is
agree.
normal?
That's the thing.
I agree.
Like
We're
who do you
quick to
point?
label? That's a new normal. Like
That is
labeling
too-
shit.
Like who do you
label-
point to and go like, well,
Yeah.
this is normal, so everything else is mental
Yeah.
mental illness. Like
Yeah.
what
Agree.
person doesn't have something that they're
Well, and I'm not
Like
saying,
you're allowed to be
like,
stressed out at work. You're allowed to be like it doesn't mean
Anxious.
it needs a label. Like, I mean,
the way that everyone uses anxiety now. Like, and I'm
Wait.
not saying anxiety isn't real. Obviously, it's real, but I feel like it's become the biggest.
my aura ring says it's very real.
But I feel like it's become the biggest cop out. Like I hear and I had this friend that I was friends with in high school, who would do horrible things and then blame it on like, oh, I'm anxious, and I'm like, okay, but you just hooked up with someone else's boyfriend. You're gonna,
Like, that's
you're gonna
gonna-
blame that on
you're
you
gonna-
being
yeah.
depressed. Like,
I comfort
you
I
don't-
comfort cheat.
yeah, what?
Like comfort she. It's
And she would do horrible stuff like that, and I'm.
But
not-
even that's what that's not mental illness, but it all cheating. Like people that are
like,
you
that's a
date
bad
somebody,
moral decision.
you
like,
date somebody and it's they're like they're like a serial cheater. They
Yeah.
cheat on you too. Like that person struggles with like it's not necessarily a mental illness, but they struggle with like some type of addiction. Like you know what I mean?
Yes.
That's not just
it has nothing to do with you. It has to.
yeah. It's like
There's
Yeah.
so much. and
everybody has something that they're
Like
you know.
they're
Another thing we normalize, and I obviously I've joked about it in this episode, like calling you a narcissist, but everything has a label. Like everything, it's like, oh, you're gaslighting, or oh, you're
to where people
doing
aren't
this,
even
and it's
like,
like,
I will
okay,
hear people
you're not
use
even
it
using
incorrectly.
that right.
Yeah,
Like
like every
everything has.
Like I have a joke that I want to do that's talk about like literally what you're looking for technically in a like relationship is you're actually looking for the person that you're gonna be toxic with.
Yes.
Like you're looking at like, and we've like labeled all the behavior, but it's like a certain amount of that behavior is just like that's being in a relationship.
That is, yeah, and
It's
you
so
just have
true.
to figure out what you're willing to tolerate with what person.
Yeah, but the labeling is too much. Like everything isn't a disorder. I could be worried about how I look and exercising. It doesn't need a label. Like it takes away from, and this is where
Those
I will
who actually struggle,
like really
and stuff.
struggle. And that's where I'm like, okay, I've actually known people that really struggle with to the point that their life will, like literally, well, actually I've known 2 girls that have passed away from,
Because of anorexia.
yeah. And
I
I'm
was
like,
thinking of that too.
that is no way near like me feeling bad about how I look in my jeans. Like,
Right.
No, or I had a friend who I like had to stop hanging out with because her mom
She
was
was
like,
bad.
she is like the way really bad, like because of her.
well, and her
that
mom
was, like,
thought you were like gonna fix it, and that's why I said
Yes.
it's too much responsibility. You're a child.
But she would work out like 4 times a day and only drink coffee.
Jesus.
And she weighed less than like 80 pounds, and she was probably my height.
Ugh.
yeah,
It was very sad. But then I look at some other people that I know, and they're like, I'm anorexic. And it's like, no, you're not. Like, the fact that you're saying this is just discrediting what other people are going through. And I think it's incredibly rude.
I think it's offensive.
I think it's
to
super
people who
offensive
really
because
suffer,
I'm
yeah.
like,
Well, yeah, people want to like, but it's
pick me. It's so pick me
yeah,
behavior.
it's become some type of like currency though to like.
I'm like, you don't
struggle.
have an eating disorder. Like, you're actually just eating disorder. Like, just because you can't say no doesn't mean you're like binge eating or doesn't mean
no,
like.
Yeah.
it's like you're a normal woman. Welcome to the world.
That's like I
Unfortunately.
thought.
Fortunately, but yeah.
I thought I would have. I said for a long time, like being like, "Oh, I'm like addicted to food." Like I've said that a
Yeah.
bunch, and then I lived with like a roommate that was like a food addict, and I've been around, and then I was around another food addict. For, like, I'll tell you who off,
Yeah.
but for a bunch of time, and I'm like, "Oh no, I'm not a food
I'm
addict at all."
actually
I like
not,
just like
yeah.
I just
Like you realize, like I can't even joke about this.
yeah,
like,
I
that
just eat.
wasn't
I
even-
eat too much. Like no, I'm saying I thought that I was. I was
Oh,
like,
really?
oh,
Like,
I'm overweight.
legitimately?
Yeah.
Well, because I love food. I do. I mean, I'll say now. I love food, but it's like we're talking
You see
like
someone who literally can't function.
yeah.
without-
Well, not just that. We're talking about like with somebody who gets up in the middle of the night and eats. Like just gets up in
That's wild.
the middle of the night. Oh, just starts eating like they'll probably consume 2,000 calories in the
That's crazy.
in the middle of the night. Like that's how it
They
keeps
function.
going. You know what I
Their
mean?
brain works.
Yeah.
'Cause that's an addiction. Yeah.
You know anything that I put in the kitchen. Like there was a joke after a couple of years of like trying all kinds of snacks, new snacks that come out. I'd try it, and if we didn't really like it, we're like, oh, we'll put it in the Bermuda Triangle
Yeah.
because it would just
It would
be
get eaten.
yeah. Or I cook 4 pounds of like carne asada and eat a few tacos, and I go, okay, the next couple days we got carne asada, and I go back and this fool ate like 3 pounds of the carne asada, like
Whoa.
in a
No
few
way.
hours. Like he ate that as the meal. You know what I mean? Like
That's
shit like
a
that.
good- Yeah. That one really upsets
That
me.
one's a bigger one because I feel very like strongly about like it does take away from like it becomes
And I've
it's
seen
starting to
people who
become
can't
white noise.
function, Yeah.
Yeah, and it takes away from like people with the real like that's crazy to me.
Like I saw this girl full on crying, like crashing out because she thought that McDonald's accidentally gave her a regular Coke instead of a Diet Coke, and she was like convinced, like trying to make herself throw up because she was convinced that
that's so sad.
and that's horrible. And then it's like I'll see someone else that's like,
It's the funniest
Oh.
part is that you're at McDonald's still drinking soda, but you're like, no,
Yeah.
no, not the regular Coke. Like, get the fuck. What'd you eat? What did she eat?
Drink
Like,
she
water.
didn't eat anything.
She
oh,
didn't
she just
eat.
stopped by and got a Diet Coke.
Yes.
It was just
Like,
fun. It's like,
it was always like everything we did. It was always a workout to where I was like, wait.
oh, this is the same girl.
Same
I thought you
girl.
said I thought you meant
No,
you
this
just
is
saw
the same
someone do this
girl.
at McDonald's.
No.
this is the same
Got
girl.
you.
The one, yeah.
And it was like very sad, but that really upsets me how like people, it's eating disorders and mental health issues. I feel like
Yeah, because
are-
it's like we're taking away from.
Yeah,
not
you're
to say
not-
that you don't
I'm
need some
not-
kind of help.
yeah,
I'm
I
not
agree,
saying
I
that.
agree. But
I'm just
like,
saying you've got to be careful. Like we normalize that, classifying that so much that it's just like okay, like
yeah,
you know.
I think it's just people who like to live in like these victim states to where like misery loves company
Yeah.
and they rather just
Well, but
act
it's-
like poor me.
It's a currency. Just like, I mean, again, other parts of the country, it's the exact opposite. Like, currency is like, I'm hardworking. I don't say anything.
Yeah.
Men don't cry.
Yeah.
Like, we don't talk
Never
about our
no days
problems.
off of work. It's like
Yeah.
that kind of.
Women
yeah.
just shut the fuck up and work and fucking be in the house. Like, all these things where it's
Yes.
like, those all are make a whole nother set of problems.
Yeah.
It's like the two extremes.
Yeah, or like another one is, and this is a whole like probably the other opposite is toxic positivity. Like
do
the
you mean?
people that are always like good vibes only, to where you're like, okay, but we need to talk about something important. No negativity here. And I dealt with this a
That's
lot
true.
with Dad, even where I was like, and he's like, why are you putting negative thoughts out there? I'm like,
And it's like, no, you
well-
actually just did something horrible. We're going to address
we
it.
actually have to deal with a really big problem. No. Good vibes only. Like, don't put it out into the universe. I'm like, bro, it's
like, you already
out.
did it.
It done been done. Like,
That's true.
and to the point, and I've known people like this. I'm like, okay, we're just not going to talk about
Like,
anything
you can
important.
act like that, or you can just acknowledge what is actually happening.
Like, yeah, we need to talk about the fact that you ran over a pedestrian. Like, it's not negative. It happened. Like, no. Good vibes only. And I'm like, whoa, okay. I don't really. How do I call insurance and tell them this without putting any negative? Just so you know, good vibes only. No. That didn't happen. Like,
oh god.
live well.
Live, love, laugh.
Yeah. But
It's true. Anyways,
we could go.
I always
on.
like. I think the hardest part is like always just transitioning out of, because we could talk forever.
We could go
but,
deep.
but we shouldn't.
No. Because there's a lot. I'm sure everyone listening has their own, like, oh gosh, you know what it is for me.
I know. I know.
Like, we all have our own list.
And I know I do some of this. Like for me, it's the tired. I'm always tired, but it's like I'm not doing anything to.
Well, and I
help.
did one that we listed, which was like never taking time off work. Like I somehow thought that made me like I don't need a day
Better,
off. I
like-
remember being at work one day with 102 fever, and I was like, nope, I'm just gonna hear and grind until like I almost passed out,
You're,
and
like,
then they
dying,
sent
yeah.
me home. Like that was toxic.
Things we normalize, but we shouldn't.
Don't do it.
Thank you guys so much for listening to the I Did It First podcast. I'm Riley,
I'm Anna.
and we'll talk to you guys next week.
Bye.
But